What is up, guys? I thought we could hang out and build my mum's house today. First thing I did when I saw the Cottage Living pack was like, yes, I've got to do it. I've got to build my mum's house. So for some context, my mum lives in this little cottage and it's like surrounded by forest land. It's very magical. It's also very creepy. Take your pick. But my mum lives in this little cottage in the middle of nowhere, and it's actually the gate lodge for a castle. So back in the 1800s when it was built, obviously the castle was still in use, and they used to take so they would have the big gates shut, and then for people to come through, they would have somebody living in the gate lodge to open the gates and let the horses and stuff through. Now it's just a house and the castle is in disarray, but that's where my mum lives, and I thought that was really, really cool, and to be honest I wanted to build it in The Sims. Now my mum's house in real life is actually 2 stories. It looks pretty much exactly like this build, as you'll see, but it does have an upstairs with a bathroom and a bedroom. However, I couldn't get it to work in the build. I tried for like 45 minutes, but I just couldn't get the second floor to work. So this is just a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. So this was my first time building with a Cottage Living pack, actually. When I got the pack, I started playing with Rags to Riches. Now, I love a Rags to Riches. I think it's one of the best ways to get to know any Sims pack. I did it for Eco Lifestyle. I didn't do it for Snowy Escape. I actually don't like Snowy Escape. But I think, you know, for something like Cottage Living, there's so much gameplay in there. It's such a good way to get to know the pack. So that house is actually on the gallery. My gallery ID is SnorLady10 and Bluebell Farm is called, and that is my Rags to Riches house. You'll see it's very small. That was all I managed to build after 1 generation. It was a lot harder than I thought. So I went ahead and I did this build so I could play with the pack a little bit more. Now this is made up primarily of Cottage Living, and I believe there are some pieces from Dream Home Decorator. And I think that's the only 2 packs I used. I probably should have checked. But cats and dogs, it's got some cats and dogs in there as well. I use cats and dogs build stuff quite a lot. I'm honestly quite a fan of it. But yeah, this was the first time I kind of played with the Cottage Living stuff, and to be totally honest, I love it. I think it's, in terms of gameplay, I think it's absolutely fantastic. The stuff that came in the free update, so the pawn tool, I really struggle to use the pawn tool. Me and the pawn tool are not pals, but you know, for them to put that in for free, and they put the spawners and stuff in, I think is great. I want to clarify that I am not celebrating EA giving us the absolute bare fucking minimum for free, but I will say that I do appreciate what they did give us. So yeah, so they gave us the pawn tool and the lot challenges. I love that. I like my game to be as hard as it can. It's too easy to just motherload and boom. But then what do you do? Where's your gameplay from there? So yeah, I like my game to be as hard as possible, so I really appreciate the lot challenges and stuff, especially off the grid, although I didn't do off the grid in this one because it's bloody hard enough. So yeah, this is my first kind of build with it. I've got a build tutorial actually coming next week, I hope, for like a big proper farm, and I love it. I know I say this a lot, and like, not to toot my own horn and stuff, but I think it is the best build I've ever done. I really, really love it. So hopefully you guys will too. But that should be coming next week, and that's more of a tutorial rather than just like a speed build where I sit and chat shit. But yeah, so this is my mum's house. I wanted to keep the same vibes as hers. Obviously you're fairly limited when building like a real house without CC, but my mum's house has the dining table in the window. She's got a brown couch. She's got 2 big pictures on the wall. She's got a log burner. I love this log burner, by the way. I wish it didn't have the massive chimney breast, but I'm still a big fan of the log burner that they added, and they are quite a quintessentially British thing. I think the house that me and Jace just bought has a log burner in it, so I love it. I think it's great. So I tried to stick as true to my mum's house as I could. There is, in the slideshow at the end, there is photos of my mum's house, so you can kind of see what I was working from. They are just to the outside. I'm not posting my mum's house on the internet. Everybody's a weirdo. I'm not doing that. So, but yeah, I was delighted with this. So, just finishing off the living room. Now, I actually cut the bathroom, and there's like a hallway and an entryway, and I actually cut them both out of the video just because by the time it was finished it was nearly 2 hours long. So, and obviously I have to condense that 2 hours into like 10-15 minutes. Obviously the shorter the better, but the problem is by the time you start condensing that far down, it turns into like stop motion, and it's almost like a slideshow, and it's awful. Like I wouldn't be happy putting that video out. That's not, as much as I am not very good at this, I am still trying my best, and that's not a standard that I want to put out there. So I did crop them out of the build. Obviously if you do download the house, it is in there, it is complete. It's just a simple hallway. It's got a bookshelf in it, some plants, some pictures. It's lovely. But yeah. So this is the bedroom. This is relatively true to my mum's house, although I did put the computer in here because it wasn't going to fit in the living room, because I put the table and chairs in there. And by the way, I know that not every chair in that table and chairs is usable, but I wasn't putting 3 chairs. That would look stupid. So just putting this in. Better add some windies to the back of the house. The Cottage Lifestyle windows and doors. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Fucking stunning. I cannot get enough of this pack. Like, I can preach to you about this pack until the day I die, with the exception of the bloody bugs. And comment down below if you're having any bugs with the Cottage Living pack, but I personally am having an absolute nightmare. My game, there's a free update gone out yesterday for it, just like to quick fix some of the bugs that came with Cottage Living, and that has now actually completely broken my game. If I open it, it just crashes and just shuts down, and it also takes my editing software with it. So there was supposed to be a lot getting done tonight, and I'm going to be less productive than I thought, but there's not much I can do about it now. My game's really laggy. I don't know if anybody else is finding this. I watch Miss Lollipop on YouTube, and I watch her live streams and stuff, and I know that she has this problem where the game just drops to about 7 FPS, and you have to click on the main menu to try and get it to sort itself out. I luckily never really struggle with that, but I certainly am now. So I'm having that bug. My particular favourite bug that I am having is the Grim Reaper never leaves. So if my sim dies, he just hangs about, potters about, and you're okay, sure. So the only way I can get rid of him is actually to delete him, which, by the way, if anybody else is having this problem, Control-Shift-C, test and cheats enabled, and then if you shift click on him, you can click destroy object, and that will get rid of him. Don't worry, it doesn't erase him from the game or anything like that, but it gets rid of that iteration in the game, so you can carry on, and he's not just living in your house. Because honestly, he was there for like a full sim day in my game before I was like, no, enough. So I mean, maybe that was fixed in this patch. I guess I'll just not find out. So yeah, thrilled about that. That's me onto the kitchen just now. This is actually based off of my mum's real kitchen, which is black and orange. She asked me when I was like a kid, I was like 13, 14, she said, what colour should we paint the kitchen? And I went, orange. And for some reason my mum listened to me, so her kitchen is orange, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's so bright. I love a bright kitchen. So this is as close to real life as I could get it. Again, this is base game, and the little extras that are in it are from Cottage Living. They have like a crockery pot it looks almost like a slow cooker, like an old-fashioned slow cooker. They have a crockery pot in this, and I put it in the build in a minute. It's just so good, and it's such like a quintessentially like British thing to have one of these. I think they're called like Le Creuset or something. To have like a Le Creuset pot is such like a quintessentially British thing. I don't have one because I'm poor, but it's such like a quintessentially British thing, so I love that they put this in the pack. It's just, the stuff that's in this pack for me is second to none. If you haven't checked out the debug, absolutely do. I use debug for the landscaping in this build, and the build tutorial that's come in, I use debug in that, and I'll kind of talk more about it and go into detail then. But in the meantime, if you haven't checked out the debug, again, testing sheets on, and then it's bb.show live edit objects, and then if you click on the search button, and then on the right hand side you can filter it by pack and filter by Cottage Living, and that'll show you just the debug stuff for Cottage Living, and that's how you can afford flowers and plants and stuff when you're absolutely broke. But the debug stuff in this pack is just fantastic, so I really recommend checking that out if you haven't already. There's a lot of cars in the debug for this pack. There is a Mini, there is an old style Land Rover, and there is a pickup truck, and I really hope that that is a hint, because we all thought Henford on Bagley was a hint because of Henry Ford, and unfortunately it wasn't. But here's hoping it is tied into a hint going forward, and there's like a Cars pack or a Cars kit coming out in the winter, because I would just love that. And like a garage as well, to be able to put a garage in the builds, like in The Sims 3. The Sims 3 had the Rockabilly pack as well, which came with like tattoos and stuff, and it was built all around cars. I loved that pack. If they made that for The Sims 4, I would be a very happy bunny. But yeah, I'm just finishing up the landscaping just now. It looks cute. I like it. But there'll be this slideshow in a minute, so I will catch you guys on Saturday. Bye guys!